Welcome back to Jersey Matters. Lieutenant Dennis Zilinski II of Middletown Township is an American hero who lost his life in Iraq, but now his family is carrying on his legacy of service. Here with us now is Marion Zilinski, co-founder of the Lieutenant Dennis Zilinski II Memorial Fund. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about your son before we talk about the fund.
Dennis started his community service very early in life. Probably he was in about the second or third grade and got involved through our church in Middletown, the Middletown Reformed Church. And there are organizations there are churches there that are involved in collections for the community. There's 9 churches in the area that participate. They bag and they bring food and gifts to shut-ins, Christmas presents to families that don't have the finances to do it. So he was always geared towards serving others.
And so is your family, apparently, because I am always moved by stories such as yours, where a family, a mother goes through a horrible tragedy, but then turns it into a positive by helping others. And that's what you've done with your life. How did you come to that decision?
Well, when you suffer the loss of a child, you think you've had a broken heart 1 or 2 times in your life. But then you realize that your heart has been shattered into 1,000,000 pieces. So you gather up those pieces and put it back together to make a difference. My son did leave a final letter to us, and he said, "I want your life to go on. I have no regrets about how I lived my life and my choices in life, and I want you to keep moving forward." So the best way to honor our son was to pick up those pieces of my heart and sort of try to glue them back together and make a difference in the lives of other warriors that have suffered the costs of war.
You do so much with this fund, with scholarships, with helping families. I want to key in on a couple of things.
Okay.
The money you give to help with amputees and amputation, because the VA sometimes won't pay for it?
That's absolutely correct. Their terminology is you have 2 viable legs. But if you're confined to a wheelchair and you can't depend on those legs to get you out of a burning building, they're not viable. Or if they tell you you're not suffering from gangrene, and in actuality you are, and it lets these warriors get on with their lives. It's almost criminal.
And you come in.
Then we come in.
For it.
Yeah, they contact us, and we've actually sponsored 4 leg amputations to date. We're working on trying to find a doctor now to work with us and a facility to work with us to have the 5th leg amputation.
What? It seems horrible. It seems horrible that they won't pay for these amputations.
Absolutely.
I would love to see you and some of the amputees you helped go down to Washington. Something would have to change. Something has to change. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, without a doubt. How do you send whole people off to serve your country that come back and they're not all whole again? How do you turn them down? How do you justify that? In my mind, you don't.
I want to talk about one other thing that you do, and that is paying for service dogs.
Yes.
That saves lives.
Yes. We work with an organization in Florida. We sponsor the service dogs. And the dogs are trained to aid and assist warriors that are suffering from post-traumatic stress and/or TBI injuries. The government's answer, again, is wrong. They come home and they drug them. The majority of these warriors are on 30 prescription drugs a day. And a service dog can get them off of that because the service dog can read their emotions. 22 soldiers a day continue to commit suicide because of post-traumatic stress.
And it's been proven that some of these drugs they give them may cause suicides.
Well, because they give them a drug to bring them down, then they give them a drug to bring them up, and then to bring them in the middle, and it's tragic. and they lose their families, they lose their support at home because they become addicted. So now we send them away. They receive a trained service dog, and the warriors that we keep in contact with, they get off of these mind-altering drugs or the alcohol.
I can tell you're passionate about this, but
Absolutely.
and I'd love to talk about everything you do, because I know we've only scratched the surface, but I think the most important thing now is to tell people how they can help.
Well, you can visit our website at www.runwithdennis.org. We just most recently, last week, shipped out 118 boxes of goodies to our troops serving overseas, and that cost us $3,300 for shipping alone.
And you have an event coming up?
Yes, we do. We have our annual run walk. It's called Run with Dennis, and it's at the PNC Arts Center on November 10th at 8 o'clock in the morning. Most of our events are hosted around something to make the people think, and that's around Veterans Day. Because not only do we have to honor those that are serving now, but we have to remember all of our veterans that stepped forward to make sure that you and I remain free.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Marion Zilinski, co-founder of the Lieutenant Dennis Zilinski II Memorial Fund. Jersey Matters continues right after this. When Jersey Matters comes right back, Nor'easter Nick joins us with his winter weather forecast.